Dear Diary, today I went on my weekly shopping trip. On my way through the garden, I saw Nick, one of the guardians assigned to our household. I know his name because I've overheard Rita and Cora talking about him during one of the times I've listened in on their conversations. They didn't mention anything that stood out. They only talked about his guardian duties. I also remember an occurrence where the commander was speaking to him about how he won't be needing his car on that day. I didn't know anything about him other than his work. While walking near him, I noticed that he had his sleeves rolled up, which is against the Gilead's uniform regulations. These days, I always notice these types of irregularities and disregard towards the rules. I didn't used to notice them with this little effort, but as the years went on, I became better trained in knowing the Gilead's rules by heart. At first, I just learned the ones that applied to us handmaids, in fear of getting punished. But as the time went on, I started learning the rules of all the different positions as a sort of time waster game. Nick was also smoking a cigarette, which you can only obtain by trading in the black market. What could he possibly be trading there? Guardians aren't really supposed to possess objects valuable enough to be traded in the black market, especially since Nick is a low-ranking guardian, since he wasn't given a woman. Could he possibly have stolen something from the commander? I didn't let the thought bother me for too long, and I kept heading towards my destination. I turned around one last time to see Nick as I was thinking of the way he seemed so nonchalant for a person of his rank. This thought led me to imagining his smell. In my thoughts, he didn't smell like the other guardians. He smelled of a tanned, moist skin under the sun and cigarette smoke. Oh, how I crave a cigarette puff. That privilege left when I entered the handmade facility. I proceeded to inhale deeply, perhaps to try to catch this smell fabricated by my imagination. I forgot that this whole time I was still looking at him. He noticed my stare and reciprocated with a whistle and a wink. I wasn't sure how to take that gesture. Was he being friendly, or even flirty? I wanted to answer in some way, anyway. However, I didn't want to take the chance. Perhaps he was an eye. I didn't want to jeopardize my livelihood in the Gilead for this man I barely knew. The Gilead has made me learn that paranoia is not a bad attribute to have. It protects me from potential threats.